All right. All praise to the Most High.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
And a double honor to the elders and apostles of Grand Millstone. And we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites coming out here once again, preaching the true gospel and the true words of who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. The name is Yahushai. We're speaking the true words and true gospel that he preached all the way back then. Okay? And the words of the Heavenly Father, the words of righteousness have never changed. From the time of Adam to Moses to Jephthah to Daniel, all the way to Yahushua, all the way to right now. The same thing that was good back then is the same thing that's good right now. And whenever you read the acts of goodness, it was vanquishing evil upon the earth. But there are certain other peoples who their whole culture is evil, who the Heavenly Father created their culture to be evil. Chiefly and mainly speaking of the red Hebrew Edomites. In these days, all right, through the doctrine of discovery, all right, and manifest destiny, the so-called white man has taken the books of holiness and the books of righteousness and told the whole world that salvation is for all. When that's simply not the case. First off, salvation is to be saved from your enemies, and everybody does not need salvation. Who does a Chinese man need to be saved from? The so-called Chinese, the biblical nation of Moab, they don't feel half the oppression that we feel. Okay? The only people upon this earth who truly need a savior, salvation, are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, North American Indians. Everywhere we go upon the earth, we're destitute. Reservations, barrios, favelas, the hoods, reservations. And these different nations make sure that you stay down. And that's how you know there's a beautiful thing that he is, that Yahweh exists. Okay? Because if it wasn't of the spirit, these different nations, if they were intelligent, they would just chill out. They'd be like, man, we have these niggas where we want them. We have the sticks where we want them at. They making tacos, and niggas were in jail and in prison working minimum wage jobs. This is great. 1,000 more years, yeah. But the Most High is putting it in their minds to prepare war. Okay, because what's happening is the salvation of Israel. The Most High is putting it in their minds to hate each other, all right, and go to war for the salvation of Israel, all for the sake of the sons and daughters of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that's the point that we're at right now. You know, got that Romans 10.
God. So this is going to be the book of Romans 10. In chapter 10, verse 1, it says, "Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved."
So the Apostle Paul's prayer for Israel was that they might be saved, that the brethren would be saved. Okay?
Says, "For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge."
Because the Israelites have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. And that's something that's been true from the beginning all the way until now. The righteous souls have a zeal for God. They have a passion for God, but not according to knowledge. Okay? All these different nations worship gods of vanity, but when our people latch onto it, they take you to a completely different level. All right? And the spirit of whoredom and the spirit of idolatry is heavily laid upon the sons and daughters of Israel right now, man. Because as it is written, the creature was made subject to vanity. In the time period that we're in right now, the Heavenly Father has located 2/3 of Israel, all right, to be destroyed in the climax of His movie. Okay, only a small remnant is going to be saved. So our people, they have a zeal of God, like even right now, man. You Israelites believe in the spiritual realm. Like a lot of these black women and Cuban women, Argentinian women, they're big into tarot cards, man. You know, I know woman, she be trying to read my palm and tarot cards, and she actually pulled out a chariot, a star, and Satan. And she's like, I keep on pulling out chariots and Satan for you. Hey, it's all of the spirit, you know? And once again with Israel, because that woman's an Israelite, she has a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. And our people right now, so-called Puerto Ricans, man, if you go to Puerto Rico, they have altars to Guadalupe, Mary, you know, so-called Haitians, man. They're over there in Haiti doing nothing but voodoo, man. Voodoo magic, mud pies, you know. You so-called black women in America, you are the most joined up out of all of them, man. You're going straight into witchcraft. You jump from Christianity. You look, man, these black women went online and saw the Israelites preaching truth. And instead of leaving Christianity to repent to the Heavenly Father, they said, well, look, the whole Bible's gone. And they went straight into witchcraft, into the most vile things, man, you know? putting period blood in spaghetti. You know? No, hey, that's real talk. These women actually do that for so-called love potions, man. So now y'all know, if a woman always eats spaghetti, you tell her to make chicken nuggets. You know? I'm cool with some people. You know?
Okay. This is Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Boom. So the Lord said that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because our people, the main problem with Israel is that you're really ignorant, man. You just don't know a lot of shit. And a lot of our people, Martin Luther King, that fucking snake, that asshole, man, he coined a term which really everything he said was given to him by the Red Hebrew Edomite. Because you have to keep in mind that you have to keep in mind that Edomites exalt themselves as the Most High. The same way how the Most High puts in our words what to say. But whenever the so-called white man creates his prophets, he tells them what to say. And Martin Luther King coined a term. He had coined a term called conscientious stupidity. It's basically, you know what you're doing is stupid, but you consciously choose it. You consciously choose to ignore the facts because you're more comfortable being stupid. And that's exactly what our people do. Part of reading Isaiah 10 and 30, or Isaiah 30 and 10, where it speaks about the itching ears and speak unto us smooth things. Okay? Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Our people, even to this day in 2022, everybody knows about the Israelites. But our people choose to turn the videos off and put on World Star Hip Hop. You see? Our people choose to turn the gospel off, the living fountains of water off, and turn on the fucking Xbox.
That's right.
Which you know, hey, chilling, hanging out sometimes, sometimes it's okay, but the first thing on your mind every day should be the Heavenly Father. What can I do in this life to exalt and herald Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? Not waking up and turning on fucking Instagram, man. You know, and that spirit of folly is all throughout America. You know, as it is written, folly is sitting in great dignity, and that's why for the prophets, us doing this right now, the sign of Jonah, we are the miracle, man. In the midst of this dark generation, our generation, especially for all you young bulls, all right, about 20 years old, 90s kids, our generation is thrown the fuck off, man. A whole bunch of trannies, murderers, liars, whores, sluts, and slut makers. But out that same generation, all right, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai put the spirit of life into a remnant. You see, out that same generation of darkness, a light came.
Hosea 4 and 6, continuing on. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Yeah, so the Most High said, because you have rejected me, I also will reject you. Once again, the same thing that was good in the time of Moses is good right now. And the volume of the book says the same thing. That's why Yahweh made that point. Whosoever confesses me before men, I will confess him before my Father which is in heaven. But if you're not doing that, all right, if you're not confessing Yahweh is not confessing you. And so what's happening? Because you rejected knowledge, the Most High Yahweh is going to reject you. And you should be no priest to him. You have no connection with him. And if you have no connection to him, Genesis 15 and 1, if you're an Israelite with no connection to the Most High, you out of there. You have no shield. If you get Jonah chapter 2 and verse. Bring that up.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 10. We say to the seers, see not, and to the prophet, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Yeah, and that's what you Israelites say, man. All the way back then, even until right now, man. We don't want to hear about, even though in this earth, you look at secular history, man, it's literally bad shit all the time. For millennia, for 500 years now, for 5 centuries now, we've been behind enemy lines. We've been in captivity. We're still captive to this day. But our people want to hear smooth things. Our people, even though their lives are full of servitude and chaos, they say, well, you know what? I want to turn on Home Alone and hear the holiday jingles and feel free. When you're literally confined, Esau puts you in an artificial cave with a piece of plastic. Here, if you want to have some enjoyment, you listen, you watch my mind program stuff. You know, I tell you what's funny, fucking laugh track in the show. I tell you when to cry with the sad music. You listen to my shit. You see, and our people love it because for them it's a smooth thing. I can just sit here in my couch and be comfortable and hear and listen to smooth things all day.
That's right.
My favorite music all day. Meanwhile, the red Edomite is devising affliction against you. He's getting prepared to assail the dog shit out of you, man. Which assail means to assault. He's getting ready to assault the dog shit out of you Israelites, man. And put you into an even more strenuous captivity. Alright? By way of this art by Nietzsche, which is the mark of the beast.
Right.
We are right now. 16:1. Okay. He has Jonah. Let's get Jonah first.
This is Jonah, chapter 2, verse 8. They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy.
Yeah, and who is the best of the mercy? The Israelites are, you know? Which if you want to read that in Romans, the 9th chapter. See, so the best of the mercy is the Israelites. So when Jonah says this, he's speaking of Israel, man. You Israelites who observe the lying vanities, all right? You trust in Egypt upon a broken reed, whereupon if you lean upon it, it'll pierce your head. You're trusting in vanities, man, and you're forsaking your own mercy. We're the only nation upon the earth who has the capability to connect to the Most High Yahweh. You see? And our people forsake that to twerk. They forsake that to get tattoos. They forsake that for a Lamborghini. Our people forsake that to be a real nigga. You shouldn't worry about being, hey, people ask me, are you a real nigga? I'm a real fucking human. You know? I can't fucking stand that shit. I'm a real gangster. I'm a human fucking being, man. All the other bullshit, it's all mind games, man. What is a game? What fruition, what nation building can a gangster do? I'm out here selling crack to give kids ice cream cones. They always do that in all the fucking movies like on Snowfall, man. And this is the bullshit. This is how simple you Israelites are, man. So our people watch these shows and they think, man, I want to be like that. I want to help out the hood like that. They show you, man, on hella hood movies, the drug dealer sells drugs and then goes and buys all the kids ice cream. Meanwhile, you killing the kids' parents. Poisoning the kids' fucking parents. You know? This world, man, you have to cast off this world. This is not the end with much glory doth abide. Okay? I read that in Jonah.
Yeah, I just read Romans.
God, it's going to be the book of Romans, chapter 9, and I'm going to start at verse 13, and it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with the Most High? God forbid.
Yeah, so is God wicked for hating someone? No. First, and also within that, the Most High has been extremely fair with that, man. Because look, even though he's the wicked, even though they've been cursed from the earth, the Most High let them rule, man. And you got to keep in mind, man, the Edomites, they've been having communities since we were enslaved in Egypt. All right, since the beginning of the story, since the fall of Adam, our people, the righteous souls have been in affliction all over the place. We only had 40 years of some kind of peace. Even King David had 40 years of war. And whenever King David wanted to build a temple to the Most High, Yahweh told him, yo, you have too much blood on your hands. Even though the Most High is the one who told him. The Most High put the spirit on David to go kill Goliath. The Most High told David, man, look, go to war and slay those giants, man. All right? How about Shem Yahweh commissioned Saul? He commanded Saul, go out there and slay all of Amalek. So, and doing those things, they were following, doing those things, King David followed Yahweh Shem Yahweh, but there was still too much blood on his hands to build the Most High's temple. So the Most High allowed his son to do it. You know, and then you know, the mercy, you know, if you can receive it. King David came back at Zerubbabel and commissioned the rebuilding of the second temple. You know, so David actually got to build Yahweh temple as he wanted to. You know, and at the same time, the Edomites were doing their own thing. At the very same time we're going through all that, the heathens are doing their own thing, man. The Edomites had communities, buildings, relationships, trade going on back and forth. While we were enslaved in Egypt, while we were enslaved in Persia, while we were enslaved in Rome, especially in Greece and America, while we were enslaved in Assyria, these different nations, the wicked, the Edomites, were chilling, doing their own thing. That man, look at that nigga Haman. They were doing things. They were gaining power and geopolitical access in the earth. And then at the same time, the same thing right now, they got angry at our people who wouldn't bow to them. Haman hated Mordecai because Mordecai wouldn't bow to him. And Mordecai wasn't prideful. It wasn't a thing of pride. He was like, this is a fucking Edomite. It's not bound to you. You're a piece of shit. You know, and he was righteous for doing that. And it's written as a memorial to this day. You don't bow to no fucking Edomite. Now whatever you need to, you know, you be wise as a serpent or harmless as a dove. You know, the Apostle Paul, wasn't Paul and James Khan? Paul told that one Edomite, I want to say it was King Agrippa, he was like, because he was in chains, and he said, man, look, I wish everybody could be like me besides these chains. He was in salt, man. But the righteous forefathers always knew and understood, man, these Edomites don't got it, man. We don't bow down to them or their gods. See? I have a precept. This is going to be Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am the Lord Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Yeah, so the Heavenly Father does not change, and the end-all be-all has always been the same. The end-all be-all is that the mercy will fall upon the sons of Jacob. All right, that the sons of Jacob will not be consumed. Now, the sons of Esau, Edom, and the daughters of Esau, Edom, they're going to be consumed with an everlasting fire. All right, they are the only nation who is not promised mercy by the Heavenly Father.
God. So continuing it in Romans chapter 9 and verse 14 again. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. God, so it says I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and compassion on whom I will have compassion, man. Meaning it ain't up to us on who the Most High chooses to be saved and who's not, man. All right, right now you Edomites, you so-called white people, are in your kingdom chilling, man. All right, while Jake, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have been put through constant hell. All right, you've been raised up. You've been given power over the whole earth, man. All right, so you've had your time to shine, man. All right, but you were not the vessel of mercy. You were the vessel of destruction. You were raised up in this kingdom to bring destruction upon yourself, to show the Israelites, all right, what happens when a wicked man is in ruleship, man. All right. Therefore, it says, "I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy." The Most High chose and ordained Jacob to be His loyal servant, man, and promised Abraham and his seed, all right, the promise of salvation, man, all right, to be saved from your enemies. Right now. What? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, man. And so right now, Esau, he's chilling, and while our people are going through hell, man. All right, and our people deserve to go through hell because they serve these heathenistic gods, man. All right, gods that profit them in no type of way. All right. So it says, verse 16. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
Yeah. So everything is of the Heavenly Father to choose what a person does in their life. Like for example, let's get Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5.
That reminds me of what I was out here in the bushes and the woods right here, the homeless. And I was beating up on that bad. All of a sudden I heard the first shot. First shot came. Wait! I'll give up my life. All of a sudden, danger, look at it. All of a sudden, wait! All of a sudden, it takes out. The troopers come out. Wait! They're getting up on me now. Let's go get a gang fight now with birds here. All of a sudden, I turn around. All of a sudden, I beat them. Wait!
Believe in God?
Yeah, people at that moment, I was cussing them out bad. Huh?
So, okay. So that happened because you cursed out God. Read it. Listen. It's going to be the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, and verse 20. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber. For a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter. So like you said, because you cursed God, a whole bunch of birds came and got on your ass.
Yeah,
you know? Because you cursed the king, and that which hath wings heard the matter, cussing you out. You know?
I started cussing, man. I just said words. And all of a sudden, stop. Start going back, and that's when I stopped. I'm trying to get up, I'm trying to walk in. Dumbass, turn around, look behind your back, there's something going on here. But because he created the whole world for stuff, take time to learn outside world.
Yeah.
That's the way my message I got.
The most all your house about Shimmy outside will reach out to you.
Yeah.
However you do it, man. You know?
Yeah.
But look, you an Israelite, and we are the true son and daughters of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah.
All right. The reason why we're in this state and why we got defeated as so-called North American Indians, Mayan Empire fell, Incan Empire fell, chattel slavery, chattel tears. All that stuff happened to us because of our forefathers' iniquity.
Yeah, is that true?
So the Heavenly Father, God's real name is Yahweh.
Yeah,
and his son's name is Yahweh Shah. The world called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shah. And the Messiah Yahweh Shah was given for redemption for our people.
Yeah.
Because it was set up for a very long time that our people would be punished and sent to the uttermost part of the earth in slave ships. All right, for a very disastrous, torturous slavery.
Yeah.
So Yahweh Shah was given as a sacrifice way back then for us to be redeemed in these times. So in these times what's happening is that the Spirit of life came down from heaven. Let's get Revelation 11, verse 11. So what's happening right now is that even though for a long time we haven't had a king, we haven't had a priest, we haven't had a temple, we haven't even had ourselves. We've been in this land calling ourselves black and fucking Mexicans, man. We haven't even had ourselves. We've been in this land murdering each other over fucking colors. So-called Latin tribe, MS-13 and cartels and Zetas shooting back and forth, but we're the same people.
Yeah.
So we've been in this land. We haven't even been ourselves. And now in these days, the Spirit of life came back into us. And now we understand who we are again. Yeah, bro.
It's going to be the book of Revelation, chapter 11, and verse 11, and it says, "And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw."
Yeah, that's what's happening right now, man. For 3 days, man. For about a 3,000 year period, we did not know. We would just throw it off, man. We were without a king, without a country, without a heritage. And the reason why that happened, somebody could get Jeremiah 17, verse 1. And the reason why we've been without a heritage is because our forefathers mocked the heritage that we were given, man. You were given a heritage to be a son of God. We were in the land worshiping Chemosh, Ishtar, building up temples to the fucking Zidonian gods, worshiping Dagon, the fucking fish god, man. Yahweh is God of heaven and earth, and Israel's worshiping the fucking fish god. Come on, man. The fucking fish god, the god of fish, yes. Israel bowing down to him, man. When Yahweh is the God of heaven and earth, the God of war, he's the God of everything, man. He just is. We have that in Jeremiah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is grieving upon the table of their hearts and upon the horns of your altars.
Yeah, so basically what that's saying is that the sin of Judah is marked before the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Whilst their children remember their altars and their grove by the green trees upon the hills, high hills.
Yeah, so that's what the southern kingdom of Judah was doing in Jerusalem, man. They were going to the groves and to the high hills, like even King Solomon. King Solomon built a high temple to Chemosh that wasn't knocked down until King Josiah came and knocked it down, man. So the southern tribe of Judah, they were going to groves and the hills in Jerusalem, man, and worshiping different gods in Jerusalem. All right, and then one of the kings of Judah, it doesn't say which one, but based off of the story, now once again, this isn't the fact, but based off of how it went, it could have been Solomon, man. One of the kings of Judah actually hid the Torah, and it wasn't found again until King Josiah, and that's why he was moved in his spirit, and he rent his clothes and repented. That's right. Keep going.
Verse 3. O my mountains, in the field I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil.
Oh, my mountain in the field. Going back to Mount Sinai, we were in the fields and we had actual tents, and so Yahweh called us the mountain in the field, the government that's in the field. Right?
And thy high places for sin.
And our high places were given to the heathens, man. And now our high places are full of sin. Like last night, I was at my mom's house getting some medicine. I've been a little sick. And we had watched this movie called Jerusalem, and the S was a Z. I left halfway through because I was out of there. I was like, I'm dying, going home. But this Edomite had said something that really pissed me the fuck off, man. Because they're in Jerusalem, and they're recording this movie in Jerusalem. They talk about gay shit. There's a wall full of prayers, right? And these Amalekites write down prayers, put it in the wall. This bitch wrote down, "Give me back my brother, asshole," and put it in the wall. So she called the Most High an a-hole, man. You know, and then this other Edomite said, over here we have a saying. When you talk to God, it's good, but if God talks to you, then you have a problem. Edomites are fucking retarded, man. You should be grateful that the Lord speaks to you, man. You see, you Edomites, you've been cast out from the presence of Yahweh as Cain was. So the Most High does not sup with you as sons, and the Most High does not reveal the secret things to you. Yahweh is not going to sup with you, man. Edomites are retarded. Everything they say, man, shows you that they are the devil. When you talk to God, it's okay. But if you talk to you, it's a problem. That's prideful as hell, man. I can talk to you, but don't say shit to me. The spirit of Cain. You know, so they're in our land, and our land's given for sin now, man. Read that verse again, Bob.
Verse 3. O my mountain, in the field I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders.
Our high places for sin throughout all the borders. So the heathens are in our lands, man. The borders in the beginning and end of our land committing wickedness, man. Matter of fact, the state of Israel has a parade called what's that shit called? It's in Tel Aviv. It's the biggest gay parade in the whole entire world. What is it? It's for the holy people, though. So the holy people have the biggest gay parade in the world. A whole bunch of Edomites and ours in Jerusalem, man. Walking around with fucking green nipples on, man. Fucking nipple ring, belly button piercing. Walking around nude in Jerusalem, man. In our cities, in our towns, man. Over our forefathers' bones. See, and all that happened because of wickedness. Keep it going, brother. Verse 4.
Verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy inheritance that I give thee.
So the Most High cast us out of the land and then discontinued our heritage. Because while we were in the land, we was doing the same that the heathens was doing, man. Adultery, idolatry, murdering each other. All for lame shit, man. Political game. Biggie Small said something, money, hoes, and clothes, all a nigga knows. Even back then, that's all Jack Fleet fucking cared about, man. Money, hoes, and clothes. You know? King Ahab coveted another man's inheritance, man. Money, hoes, he just wants power, man. Pussy and power, all niggas care about, man. And that's why the Most High cast us out and gave you the heritage of being black. Come on. You know? Keep it going, bro.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Boom. So we also have to serve our enemies in a land that we did not know. And that curse is chiefly speaking about Judah because the northern kingdom was already over here. And it tells you in the book of 2nd Ezra 13th chapter how they got over here. After the Assyrian captivity, they got in them boats and they went through a passage through the transatlantic ocean. There's actually to this day a certain current that if you take it, it'll take the same amount of time to get there, to get over here from there, that is recorded in the book. And that's also how they knew who was over here. There's a certain movie, I forget what movie it's called, that actually has Christopher Columbus saying that he knows where the lost tribes of Israel are. And then the guy asked, how do you know? And he said, it's written in the Apocrypha. They're in the other land. So whenever they come over here, the so-called white man tells you that Christopher Columbus is looking for spices. That don't make no fucking sense because white people don't spice shit. That's how you know that's a fucking lie, man.
That's right.
And then they come over and say, oh, we call them Indians because we thought we were in India. See, if you don't know words and history, man, a so-called white man can tell you anything. Oh, for example, millions of years ago, there was a Jurassic period. If you don't know anything, he can just say whatever the fuck. You believe it. There was a whole bunch of meat-eating dinosaurs with feathers roaring around, fighting all day. Yes, there was no order, a whole bunch of chaos. Big boom, everything got cold, a big-ass jaguar popped up, still no people around. He can tell you anything, man. And whenever you start trillions of years ago, you can say anything. Who can fact check that? Fucking no one. Only Yahweh above, man. You know? Was there more on Jeremiah?
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Yeah, and that's why what befell us had befallen us, because we kindled a fire in the Lord's name.
Genesis 15 and 1 and Hebrews 5 and
Hold that and get Daniel chapter 9 verse 11. You know, because a curse was put out upon our people. And the only logical conclusion to this matter, the only logical conclusion to this reality is that we're a cursed people. You know, because our people are literally the joy of the whole earth. Even in our wickedness, everybody tries to emulate the so-called Negroes and Latinos. You know, and the only people upon this earth who really love everybody and are just so passive and merciful are these so-called Negroes and Latinos. Everybody else understands there's winners and losers. But they'll get on TV in a suit and tell you, oh yeah, love everybody, peace for everybody. And they're telling you that in a suit on TV with $1 million in their bank account, while they know that you have generational poverty. But they'll get on TV, oh yeah, love for all, equality. Meanwhile, they know that you don't have as much money that they have in the bank account. The government came out on the news and said, well look, everybody with budget problems, just get a second or third job. And look, we've actually done the math for you. If your phone bill is $40, whose fucking phone bill is just $40? Even just that, man. You know? And then they said don't use that much heat at your house. Meanwhile, in their street, they got heated floors, 18 fucking cars, you know, private jets, bitches, hella bitches, the baddest bitches. They out there doing the big, man. You know, and they tell you, well, look, you know, you should really, you know, there's too many people on the earth, you know, there's too much overpopulation, so you gotta cut back on stuff. And then they fly back to their fucking 10-bedroom mansion, man. You know. It's all a big game, and these heathens understand that. And whenever if you know an Edomite, man, and you use wisdom, you be wise as serpent. To talk to them, go around the family a little bit. The way they live life is completely different, and they play the system, bro. These niggas be on drugs legally. They legally have drugs and shit, sell them on the street. They legally, man, be scamming. I know an old Edomite woman, man. This some of my family's former boss, and she loved me for some reason, and she would take me to her. She would take me to a ranch in the country, and I was about 13, 14, and it was a four-wheeler. I'll ride the four-wheeler all over the place, man. And she would always show me how she would scam people. Now, she owns businesses, and she got money from her dead Navy husband, but she's still scamming people for like $10,000, $8,000 at a time, man. And she's been caught over and over again, but because she's an old Edomite woman, everybody just, oh, slap on her wrist. But she's been caught by the government, the same government that locked niggas up for having a fucking plant on them 6 years, man. You know, ruin Israelites' lives, man. It's Israelites right now in prison who is known that they haven't committed a crime. Like for example, in jail, man, especially over there in New York, Rikers Island, man. All right, the majority of the people in Rikers Island have not been convicted yet. So there's a whole bunch of innocent people in there thrown into a savage lifestyle. You see, stabbings, gang beatings. You with it? Nah, I ain't with it. And then everybody come and jump you. You know, all because you ain't with it, meaning that you're not gonna give them your commission and your shoes and shit. So you ain't with it. Well, look, we gonna jump you. Those people haven't even been committed. Excuse me. Those people haven't even been convicted of a crime yet, even though it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. With this Edomite bitch, man, she got caught over and over again. She would tell me, oh yeah, the cops gave me a warning, you know, told me to stop doing it. And she actually showed me how she does this. And I'm like, this is an Edomite, man. This is their world. It's made for them. They understand that the laws, government, and politics is a game made for them to win. They understand that and they use it. Only you Israelites be over here on this weird freedom shit, man, on this equality bullshit. Edomites don't believe in that, man. They'll tell you that to make sure you don't fucking kill them, you know? Because the same thing with Grandpa Jacob, the fear of God, man. When other nations see you, there's a certain fear, like, man, we did these niggas wrong, you know? If they were angry at us, if they thought logically, it'd be horrible. So they always tell you peace and love, Jesus Christ, forgive your enemies, you see? But the way they treat you is they dog you the fuck out, and that's what the righteous men of Israel is going to do to them. Somebody about to get shot. I know I'm calling for a lot. And this verse goes, the spirit goes somewhere else. Like Revelation chapter 18 and verse 6. Revelation 18 and 6. Spirit going somewhere else with it, you know. But it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation to those who trouble you. And Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is stirring up that spirit back into his men to come out here and condemn this place before he unlocks that next level, all right, and gives them even more of the Holy Spirit, to perform acts of spiritual power. All right, and these different nations have the history, and they know that the only people upon the earth, that the only lineage upon the earth who can, who creates human beings who can unlock that next level, come from the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They understand that. Samson, Elijah called down fire from heaven. Samuel called down fire from heaven. And they understand that these mystical, majestic, these powerful men only come out of our loins. And that's why they always tell you, nope, you're just black, Israelite. I've done my own independent research. I fact checked it. No, you're not.
And if I may add, this just as we read earlier in Revelation 11:11, it says when that spirit entered back into them, that the rest of them had fear.
Yep.
Right? Because they, once again, just backing up the brother's point, they know that through us comes their downfall, man. Through us comes our kingdom. All right, the kingdom of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the kingdom that's never going to end. Which is why they put your children in front of these TVs, man. Why they take your children away from you and put them in these schools. All right, while they don't teach you, they teach you everything that is not relevant. All right, they don't teach you the basics of life, how to plant a tree, how to take care of it, man. All right, how to grow a field. All right, how to sustain your own food, sustain your own water. They don't teach you any of that, but they teach you this bitch ass English. All right, math. Math is semi-important, man. All right, they're teaching you all these dumb things. All right, just to keep you at the bottom, man. All right.
To speak to the brother's point, that's what they do. They indoctrinate you to create better slaves. That you don't climb the ranks. That you don't oppose them in any way in the future.
I want to say that was John D. Rockefeller who had created the American scholastic system and the American education system. He actually came out and said that we don't want a nation of thinkers. We need a nation of workers. So then what they do, they say, oh, look, we'll just call it a school and say we're teaching them, but really we're going to make them, yes, no, you think this, you think that. The bell rings, you get up now. The bell rings, go eat. The bell rings, you go back to recess. They create a nation of workers, man. You sit down and take orders. So I have a precept on this point. This is going to be Genesis 35 in verse 4. And Jacob's household gave unto Jacob all the strange gods that were in their hand, and all their earrings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem, and they journeyed. And the terror of God was upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob.
Right, because after putting away all the idols and putting away all that idolatry, once again, the Most High was with Jacob, man. All right, and that's why it's written in Exodus 2. It's written throughout all the scriptures that heathens were always warning each other, like, hey, man, don't mess with this nation unless they're being wicked. And the only way they could be wicked is if they're not serving the Most High. So these nations, they were always trying to find ways, even to this day, they're finding ways to keep you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you Israelites, all right, at the bottom, and keeping you separated from the Most High. But pretending to Romans 8, all right, nothing can separate us from the love of the Most High, which is why they're terrified of this ministry, man. Which is why they keep taking down the videos. They keep shooting the channels down, man. All right. Which is why they haven't made a significant move, man. Their whole plan is to start World War III and implement the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. All right. To finally win. All right. But that's the only way they're going to be able to do it, to completely separate us from the Most High. But it's written in Isaiah, except the Most High left us a small remnant, then we would have been in Sodom and Gomorrah. But it ain't so. All right, because the Lord has cared for his elect, and he's not going to allow his elect to go down in history like that, man. All right, and instead, what's going to happen is that our people, all right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, moreover the elect of their people, all right, are going to obtain that salvation and come back and rid the whole earth of wickedness, man. All right, and even though the heathens are going to be under subjection under us, they're going to be enjoying life, man. All right, why? Because under the righteous, all right, the people rejoice, but under the wicked, the people mourn, and that's what you have right now. The people mourning. All right, they don't know what's going on, man. All right, they're just living their day-to-day lives, thinking that it's going to get better, when it's only going to get worse, man. America is waxing worse and worse by day, man. These countries are waxing worse and worse by day. Yeah, man, these people know what's going on. All right, this place is about to go down, man. All right, and it's going to be beautiful whenever that happens, because at that time, our people are going to obtain that salvation through the elect, man. All right, let's go ahead and read that real quick while they're talking.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors.
That's right. So then shall the righteous stand in great boldness as such of them that has afflicted them. And that's what's going on, man. You have brothers all over the world preaching the name of Yahweh and his son, Yahweh Shai, all right, and casting down this wicked empire, man. That's a prophecy that's already coming to pass, man. You got it, right?
I got it. Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 11. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, saith Yahweh of hosts, for the seed shall be prosperous. And the seed right here in this verse is speaking about the children of the promise, who basically all the elect souls who have repented right now. It says, for the seed shall be prosperous, the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their dew, and I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things.
So our people are going to possess, they're going to possess riches, they're going to possess peace. Ultimately, we're going to be set back in our own land. We're not going to be troubled by our enemies anymore, man. And it's going to be a beautiful time for our people.
Verse 13. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your heads be strong.
That's right, because and how will we curse to the wicked, man? All right, to the earth. All right, whenever our people were taken down, that's when the earth really started. All right, so started from Adam. All right, it's like y'all started to know, right? Can you break it down, Mama Shah?
Let me read it again. Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 13. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Judah and house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. You can get Isaiah 16:12. You know, because our people, man, we've been a curse among the different nations. Everybody hated us, and as it is written in Isaiah 60, as we're about to read, our land was called forsaken. Nobody wanted to even pass through us. And even to this day, what are you so-called Negroes and Latinos known for, especially so-called Negroes, man? You're known for being pieces of shit. You're known for being the lamest, stupidest, most docile, ugly, retarded people on the fucking earth, man. Everything dumb. You look at niggers and you'll see it, man. They're wearing the oppressor's hairstyles, celebrating the oppressor's ways, you know. And our people, you conform to hating each other, man, and to downing your own brother instead of uplifting your brother and being better for your brother, man. You're a curse among the whole earth, man. And our people, there's a certain spirit within them, man. You know, because once again, we're in the time of just curses, man. Straight curses. And we still never read Daniel 9, right? Yeah. Before Isaiah, get Daniel 9. You know, our people have been a curse upon the earth, man. Our people shun knowledge. There's a spirit of idolatry, ignorance, and whoredom upon the Israelites, man. And you shun knowledge. So because of that, you've not only been a curse to the earth, you've been a curse to your own communities, man. You've been a curse to yourself. Our people shun knowledge. Hey, a threesome looks fun. You go do that shit, now you're dick burning. You know, you've been a curse to yourself. Your own way shall reprove you, as it is written. You know? You got that?
God. It's going to be the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11, and it says, yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
Yeah, so because our people left the ways of the Heavenly Father, the curse of Moses was poured out upon us. The curse of Moses, man, was terrifying. You dig? The curse of Adam was, hey, from dust you came, dust you will return. You know, you will sweat all the days of your life. But the curse of Moses is, hey, I'm going to torture you. You're going to be a captive. You're going to be a nation. All right? You're going to be a no people. You're going to borrow and never lend. All right? You're going to be despised among the nation. You're going to be a reproach in the earth. I'll make you ashamed. I'll make you mad for the sight of your very eyes. And whenever you look at these niggas, it makes you fucking bug out. Like, what the fuck? Like, whenever you see Israelites in the streets, a whole bunch of beautiful women, a whole bunch of beautiful Israelite women degrading themselves. First off, they're dressed like hookers, and then they're twerking, and they're confusing themselves. They're dressed like hookers, but they're telling you to respect them. Well, now I'm confused. Are you a bitch, or are you a slut, or are you not? You know, and then they'll tell you, I'm a bad bitch. You gotta respect the bad bitch. I don't respect bitches, man. You know, sorry to say, not really. You know, and then a woman, they dress all promiscuous. I advise that if a woman is dressing promiscuous and she had her teeth out, stare at them. And watch her get offended. You be like, well, bitch, obviously, you showing me something. You know, I'm not talking to you because you're a great person. Bitch, like, you know. This place, that's the state of our people, man. It's a nation of sluts and slut makers. A lot of you men like that shit. And then if you tell other Israelite men that they hate the slut. If you tell other Israelite men that you don't like that shit. I don't like women who are out there. I don't like sluts. They'll call you gay. Yeah. You don't like seeing the ass, man. You don't like that. It's too much ass, man. It's Thursday. It's too much ass on Thursday, man. You know, I don't want to. As soon as you wake up, you turn the TV on, man. You know what I mean? Commercials, ass. Like, I don't want to see. I'm trying to look up Bible videos and the commercials, bitches twerking. You're like, what's going on, man? Everywhere you look is the spirit of whoredom, the spirit of idolatry. And that's why it's written that Babylon, all right, was the mother of harlots. And became the hold of every unclean and foul bird. Every unclean spirit is found in this place, man. Pedophilia, murder, child sex trafficking rings.
And beta male simpism.
Yeah, especially that. That's not the top of the fucking list, man. And it's crazy. First off, women don't even like men like that. Women like the men, bro. I'm an asshole. I used to be a nice guy. At my age, I used to be a nice guy. I've never got as much respect from women. Man, whenever I stopped saying beautiful and started saying bitch, I've never gotten this much respect from these whores in my life, man. You know, they don't want the man to be, oh, I love you, and we're keeping all that shit all fucking day, man. Even Rihanna had that song. So she was like, come on, rude boy, take it, shit over and over again, take it, rude boy. They like the men who are all about themselves, man. Which being about yourself, really being about your mission, being about the Heavenly Father. We're here to serve the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We're not here to be in love and be a ladies' man. You know, sweet talk the bitch. We're not here to do that shit, man.
I know, Father's business.
Yeah, now if you have a wife and she in the right spirit, now if you have a holy wife, a righteous woman, then that's cool. But guess what? She don't exist. So you're not gonna be on that romantic stuff until the kingdom, man. Well, I say for me personally, you know, I don't want to build you no palace, no temple until I know you on my team for sure. And I won't know for sure until the kingdom when I can sense if you on some of that shit, you know. And it is, the kingdom of heaven, our woman gonna be made perfect. Let's get Isaiah 4. Isaiah chapter 4, and we can start at verse 2. Matter of fact, we can start at verse 1.
All right.
Got that?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name.
That day is fast and soon approaching. You did like and that day is speaking about the day of Jacob's trouble. You know, the 2 Ezra 16 tells you that these days is gonna be so horrible. All right, the widows are going to cry having no bridegroom. It's like the brides, the brides are gonna cry having no bridegrooms because all the men are gonna die in the wars, the race wars, the drafts, just fucking hunger wars, man. You know, it's gonna be a whole bunch of dead men. It's also written in 2 Ezra 16 that a man will even desire to hear the voice of another man. So on that day, the woman gonna be like, oh man, look, I just want to be called by your name. And that's only gonna happen for the elect men. I just want to be called by your name. Because there's gonna be a certain spirit amongst the elect men. All right, and a portion of that spirit is shown in this movie called The Book of Eli. And hey man, he was fighting multiple enemies at once, taking heads off, you know, and walking around. He was, man, at the end of the movie, when it's revealed the nigga's blind, you could have been like, there's no fucking way. But he was guided by the Spirit. The same way that Samson was. The same way that Gideon was. The same way that David was whenever he hopped over a wall, you can fucking heat this, man. King David, man, a bow was still broken his arm. He was so. Yeah, imagine being in a war. He walked onto a heathen. He was just like, oh yeah, bitch, oh yeah, bitch. And he's thinking you with a steel bow. You so angry, you like, wow, you break with your arm. Imagine the heathen's face, man. You know, whoa, God. Oh no, that King David was in that. He was in the spirit. He was focused in the spirit, man. This fucking heathen is trying to rebel against the angels. What you talking about, man? Hey, the Most High, man, these days he's gonna revamp that spirit, man. And when that happens, see, and that's why the Most High is gonna have the woman go to the elect, because the elect aren't gonna be all into those women, man. They aren't gonna be, oh, I'm so in love with you, Sarah, and doing everything. They're not gonna leave off the Most High to get those women. The reason why the Most High is gonna give them those women in the first place is because those men aren't gonna be focused on them. It's because those men are already focused on Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They know what it is. We're here for a crown. We're here for salvation. We're here for the God of our fathers, whose name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushua. And great for it to come to America, and all these so-called white people are going into slavery. All right? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is a God of judgment, and much judgment is coming to the earth.
That's right.
And we're finally going to get justice. All right? The so-called white man tells you to hate Saddam Hussein, hate Hitler. They're bad people. But you can't hate him, though. He done more fucked up shit than everybody, but it's bad to hate him. Whenever you say you hate him, oh, that was a long time ago. What about love? But if you bring up Hitler right now, fuck him, man. Fuck the Nazis. That was a long time ago, man. Why is it okay to hate Hitler, hate Saddam Hussein, and hate Osama, but we can't hate the nigga who does more stuff than all of them? You know? Hey, but once again, we're gonna be changed. And Most High is gonna clean our men and our women, and we're all gonna be a nation again. We're gonna be joined together. You know, and that's gonna start at the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And that judgment is going to coincide of 2/3 of Israel are going to go into hellfire, and the elect are going to go into being washed away. You know, it's like having all their sins washed away. Through that comes the blessing on this side. Go ahead,
Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious.
Yeah, so in that day shall the branch of Yahweh be beautiful and glorious. Because as it is written, now for what purpose are women going to be saved? It's written in the book of Timothy, she shall be saved in childbearing. So in that day, the branch of Yahweh shall be glorious. They're going to want to be called by your name to take away their reproach. And what brother just going to be generous? And you know what? You can have my name, but I won't sleep with you. No, bring it here. Yeah. This is a good trade-off, you know? So basically, a woman's going to be used as an incubator to bring even more sons of God upon the earth. And then she's going to be blessed because of it. That's literally, that's how it goes.
I'm just saying, that's going to be their position, their natural role, is to smack it up, flip it, and rub it down. That's your job.
You know, so like bring forth more souls.
Come.
And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel.
So on that day, those who are escaped of Israel, the remnant. Now, what did they escape from? The anger of the Lord. Those who have escaped the anger of Yahweh, now they're resting in the shadow of the Lord. Now they're resting in the blood of the Lamb. Like that one dude in the ISU became was preaching with the Black Panthers, and he said that Passover was about God slaughtering our enemies. That was a part of it, but the real reason the Passover is in the name. The Lord's anger passed over us. We escaped His anger. Yeah, and the only reason why we escaped the Lord's anger is because of the blood of the Lamb. If that blood of the Lamb was not on your household, you was out of there. And the heathens didn't even have a choice. No one even gave them the memo. No one even warned them. You know, it's the most I don't fuck with them. He was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get them. But for my people, I'm gonna give you a chance. Take this blood, you put it on your doorpost. Now, if any Israelite was retarded and didn't do that, they were just out of there, man. If any Israelite was wicked and didn't put that blood on there, well, the Most High was like, well, look, now you're like the fucking Egyptians. Now you're gone too. So once again, Jonah 2:8, don't forsake your mercy. Don't observe lying vanities, man. We've been given the spirit of life and the spirit of holiness. And we're set apart from all these different fucking nations, man. Right. You know, and the way this world is set up and ran is going to be destroyed. Everything here is thrown off and upside down. Like for example, in this world, you know, like being a stepfather is seen as like a simple thing and a weak ass thing, which, you know, in my mind, you know, it kind of is. But in our culture, being a father to the fatherless, the Most High has a huge respect for that, you know. So right now, everything just thrown off, man, and we're coming back into who we are, man. We're rehearsing the righteous acts. We're learning once again. You know, Hebrews 5:12, we have to be taught again. You know, and whenever the Most High washes us away, He beautifies our people, man. The way that the elect remnant is going to walk, the way that the house of David is going to walk in that day, the whole earth is going to know surely there is a God in Israel. Keep it going apart.
Verse 3, and it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem.
Well, everyone who's written among the living, and written where? In the book of life. Now Moses spoke about the book of life, so did Yahushua. So that book has been up there in the heaven. That scroll's been sitting there since the foundation, man. And then it says, for those who are escaped and for those who are left in Zion. Now, left from what? From that judgment. It's going to be a gigantic dying off, man. These fucking Edomites tell you about overpopulation, and we need a depopulation plan. But the Most High is like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's depopulate them. I'm with that. Let's burn them all. And then Yahushua said that He's coming to send a fire upon the earth. He wishes that it was already kindled. So when the Lord comes back, it's going to be, hey, everybody right now is living in pleasures and they're living in sin. That's just fun right now. But when the judgment comes, there's nothing you can do about it. And just like in the days of Noah, it's not going to come all at once. Those missiles ain't just going just hit one day with no other tribulations before that. No, it's like in the days of Noah. All right, that first day of rain, it wasn't people dying on the first day. They were just like, oh shit, it's happening, you know? So in these days, all right, when that famine hit, boom, that's the drizzle. All right, when martial law hit, boom, it's still just drizzling. All right, when Esau is kicking your door in, it's still just drizzling. Up until those missiles, it's still just drizzling. You know? No matter how bad it gets, up until the missiles, it's still just drizzling. And then when those missiles hit, that's when the wicked are going to drown in their iniquities. And they're going to burn the fuck up.
Kevin Hart likes to say, shit just got real. The missiles hit, it's going to be no exemption. There will be no mercy upon the people. You're going to feel it even to the soul that resides within the body, my friend. This is Revelations chapter 18 and verse 6. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works.
That's right.
In the cup which...
God, Salaki for interrupted, but it says reward her, even as she had rewarded you, man. And how was America rewarded, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man? All right, they sold you off to other nations, man. They sold a boy for an harlot, man. All right, they were sitting there cutting the baby out of our women's stomachs, man. Throwing them against stones, feeding our babies to alligators. All right, working us to death in the coal mines, man. All right, going around changing the images of our nations, man, into their own. All right, reward her even as she rewarded you. Except the only difference between us and what they did and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it in righteousness, man, under the orders of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. All right.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be doing no bug breaking
Nope.
into that shit. Now, one of them Hamites might catch you. You know, in the kingdom, and then Israel might turn a blind eye. One of them heathens might catch you, man. Also, a lot of those Arabs are sodomites as well. Israel gonna fuck around and catch you Edomites in the field, man. And then we gonna punish both of you, the giver and the receiver. Yeah, hey.
Y'all gonna catch judgment, man.
It's gonna be total judgment upon you Edomites, man. You know, walk around the earth raping koalas. What are you doing? Fucking a koala. You know, any animal. What are you doing?
How are oceans catching diseases, man? This shit don't make sense.
Yeah, how do you make the water sick? You're a special kind of evil, man. You're a special type of nut ass nigga. That's exactly what Esau Edom is, man. A special type of nut ass evil. The way he does evil is just, it's really on some nut shit. Like, bro, they grown men in dresses. They do the plastic surgery, the vocal cord surgery. That's some nut ass shit.
Yeah.
Now they even sound like women. They go and they pay thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for a doctor to open their neck up and change their vocal cords so they sound like women. You're a nut ass nigga. That's some wicked, bro. You're thrown off, man. And you Israelites, man. What's that dude named from GOCC? Elder Rakar. You want to save Esau, man? You're on some nut shit too. You're even worse than him. Because you're looking at them, you're inspecting how nutty they are, how evil and divided and corrupt they are, and you're saying, well, look, you know what? I like them. They should be joined with us. That's ridiculous, man. These people, these other nations, especially especially Esau, Edom, they have been cast out the presence of God, man. They don't dwell in Yahweh's presence no more. And their punishment is going to be worse than that. It's going to be more and worse than they can bear. But they still gonna bear it. We gonna make them. The same way how during slavery, man, we refused to eat. They would bust out our teeth and throw the food down our throats. Well, look, Esau don't want to drink the cup. And the Lord give us that spiritual power. That power, man, we gonna bust down your teeth spiritually and force you to drink the fucking cup, man. On your ass 25/8. And on the Sabbath, man, hey, we need to have a council, brothers, because the Sabbath is according to the moon. Now the moon is different in different places. So if we just move Esau around, we could have them perpetually working all the time, man. Hey, in the kingdom, we all have a council about that, man. we gotta sit down and have a meeting about that.
God, God, man. So it says, reward her even as she rewarded you, man. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, man. All right. Her wickedness has reached up into the heavens, man. Her sins, which she wasn't even given the law, statutes, and commandments, and the Lord said her sins reached up into heaven, man. That just goes to show you how much wickedness and how much perversion that this nation has caused, man. All right. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and continue that. All right, because this place needs to go, man. All right, this place known as America, aka Babylon, according to the scriptures, needs to be destroyed. All right, because it's done nothing but cause wickedness, man. All right, cause nothing but death and pain unto our people, man. All right, and all these Edomites, so-called white people, man, y'all are going into slavery, man. All right, under who? Under the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Whether you want to or not, man. All right, go ahead.
Revelations 18:6, one more time. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double.
That's right, he's going to be overflowing in that hole. Go ahead.
Verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously.
That's right, how much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, man. All right, America is always being promoted as the best country in the world, man. All right, but first and foremost, you ain't even the happiest country in the world, man. All right, you're like ranked number 13. That's a low drop from what you say you are, man. All right, who had lived deliciously, who had traded with these nations, who had took advantage of these nations, man, gained riches off of these people's back, man, especially our people. Especially our people, man. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, going through hell, building up these kingdoms for a nation that's not even ours, man. For a kingdom that we can't even rule. Our people build this off of the blood, sweat, and tears, man, whether they liked it or not. So the same thing is gonna happen whenever we get in power, man. All right, you Edomites, you so-called white people, you white people, man, are gonna be under subjection under us. And after you're being done of use to us, you're gonna be destroyed forever, man. Cut off the planet, cut off the system forever. Burned in a big ass bonfire, man. Go ahead.
How much she hath Salakia. This is Revelations 18, continuing in verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her.
This is the Lord speaking, man. So much torment and sorrow give her, man. so much torment and sorrow give her, because this nation, this kingdom that was built up, was not built up to be enjoyed, man. It was built up systematically for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to be at the bottom and keep this nation running, man. All right, that's why you had McDonald's, you had Burger King, man. You had these hot-ass warehouses working 10, 12-hour shifts, all right, every day, you know, to keep their empire going, man. All right, to put together their machines so that way they could sell it, make tens, thousands, up to millions of dollars. All right, and you get a penny out of it, man. All right, and then you want to say you're free. The Lord says so much sorrow and torment given her. Why? Because she had touched the apple of the Most High's eye, man. She has taken the silver and the gold. All right, and she had claimed it for herself. And now what is she trying to do? She's trying to put her own spirit inside of you, man. And this place needs to go. This place needs to be destroyed. It's not that we no longer want it to be destroyed. We need it to be destroyed. All right, this place has been waxing worse and worse. You know, if you brothers know that they're putting these metal cages around meat now, man. All right, people are getting so desperate. They're stealing meat from Walmart. All right, that because of hyperinflation, people can no longer afford a standard living, even with 2 people working, man. All right, now they're being forced to stoop below their level, man. Now they're stealing meat. Now they're fighting against each other over toilet paper, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
Continuing on. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow.
And that's how you dumbass Americans are all the time, man. Our army could never be destroyed, man. Well, the Russia and China is about to get over here and destroy this place, man.
That's right.
And you want to smirk and shit, man. This place is about to be destroyed. And your people, the so-called white people, Edomites, are going into slavery, man.
That's right.
You damn devils need to be destroyed, man. You damn devils need to be destroyed. All the sorrow and torment you have caused our people, man. Yeah, the Most High allowed it to happen for our wickedness, but you went overboard with it, man. And now the Most High is angry with you. Now you kindle the fire in His anger, and He hates you. All right, you had your time to shine, man.
As y'all saw on camera, they can stare with them dead ass eyes all they want to. It ain't gonna change the judgment. The judgment has already been come down through the book. So it's just a matter of time before your ass is on the bottom and you're gonna get what we got for all these hundreds of years.
And you know what? That damn Edomite ain't gonna be smirking when all hell breaks loose, man. Whenever someone breaks into his home and rapes his wife in front of him and kills his children, man. All right, that's coming to America, man. Martial law, race wars, and riots are coming to America. You saw a small portion of it a few years ago. It's only getting worse, man. Right? And you women who want to be independent out here, what are you going to do during that day when your man is as seen as a woman, man? Crying in travail as a woman in birth, man? What are y'all going to do? Ain't shit, man. The only ones that are going to be protected during that day are going to be the elect. And if you ain't with it, man, you're going to be destroyed. Because someone get Luke 19:27. Hold that, brother. You know, hold that. You can get it if you can, but, you know, just make sure you hold it. All right, man, because Yahweh, man, when he came back, he said himself, it's written, he came to deliver a sword, man. He didn't come to deliver peace as you so-called Christians preach, man. But you don't even preach it, man. All y'all do is sit in a fucking wannabe church or in a building taking money from your own people, man. Being wicked.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 19, verse 27. But those mine enemies, which will not that I should reign over them, bring them hither and slay them before me.
That's right. Those mine enemies which will not serve me, bring them hither and slay them before me, man. Cut off their damn heads. This is the Messiah. This is Yahweh speaking, the one who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, man. Now, is that all love? No, it ain't. The Lord didn't come here to deliver peace, man, but a sword. All right? And if you ain't with it, you're gonna get with it, with the head cut off, man. All right, the Lord's gonna come back and judge you people for all your wickedness, man. That damn Edomite pissed me off, man. Smirking, man. You damn devils you're gonna catch hell, man. You're gonna catch hell first and foremost in your own damn kingdom. All right, your own damn people don't care about you. You at the bottom of the barrel, right along with Jake, man. All right, you the lamest of the lame, man. You at the bottom of the barrel of all these nations, man. Yeah, all these nations are counted as spittle, but you ain't nothing, man. All right? Go ahead, bro.
This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 12. For the nations and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
That's right. They shall be utterly wasted for not serving who? For not serving the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true biblical Israelites, man. All right? Yeah, you damn devils and you heathens, the rest of you heathens are going to come under subjection under us. All these councils that you have and all these meetings in secret that you have to keep our people at the bottom is counted for naught. Because that's right, because the Most High, he has a higher purpose for his people, man. And you damn humans can't do shit about it, man. All right. Is there more on that? Come on, let's jump back into that.
Revelations 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire.
That's right. She shall be utterly burned with fire, man. That's going to be a beautiful sight to see, man. Whenever the elect are beamed up into the chariots, Lord willing, we're part of that number. We're going to see America burning, man. All these wicked evildoers, man, including 2/3 of our people. Including 2/3 of our people. We're going to rejoice over wickedness in general being destroyed. All right, because look at what the wicked have done unto the earth, man. They poison the air, the food, the water, man. All right, everything here destroys you. Okay, man. Only in America is there so many damn cars. All right, in all these in these other countries, they leave way for bikes. They leave more nature out, man. All right, but only in America is there's all these damn cars, man, causing all this pollution. There's so much fucking light, man. All right, there's not a lot of trees. All right, meaning that there's less oxygen, meaning that there's smaller people. Okay, this place has done nothing for you but destroy you. And you people, you want to protect it. You want the so-called white man to be saved. But the Lord, that's not what the Lord wants, man. The Lord wants these people to be destroyed because all they've done is cause wickedness upon the earth, man. Death and destruction. And that's all they cause. All right? If someone get I believe it's Obadiah, where it speaks about, it might be 1 and 4, where it speaks about he is the border of wickedness. It's either Obadiah or Malachi.
I have a precept about it.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Job chapter 21 and verse 17. It says, how oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them. God distributeth sorrows in his anger. And we're coming into that season here pretty soon. The Lord is going to distribute destruction in his anger. He's going to put you people's candle out. All of this prosperity and good living deliciously that you've been doing is coming to an end. You're going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. And in the last day when those missiles hit, you're going to be on fire to your death. Salar. I don't know if I broke that down. 21.
Speaks about the border of wickedness.
This is Job 21 and verse 17. Again, how oft is the candle of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them. God distributeth sorrows in his anger.
God, man. So this place, how often the candle is put out, of the wicked is put out, man. And all these kingdoms that the wicked has had, that the Lord has completely and utterly destroyed, man. All right, he delivers these things in sorrows. All right, when Rome went down, it went down in sorrow. All right, these kings were trying to keep that kingdom that kingdom going, man. I mean, just look at America. It's a copied image from Rome, man.
So,
They built their buildings and all that shit off of the model of Rome. These Edomites want this place to continue forever, man. But the Lord's gonna put that candle out again. Why? Because their candle, it's not burning for light, man. It's burning for darkness.
for wickedness.
Done. All right. And that's why this place needs to go, man. This place is polluted. It shall even destroy you, as pertaining to Micah.
Destruction, yeah.
That's right. Go ahead.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
And that was during the time of the Renaissance period, after the Rome's fall. Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
That's right. They shall build, but I will throw down, man. Because their inward thought pertaining to Psalms 49 is that their kingdom, their houses shall continue forever. All right, well, I built this $10 million house. It ain't going nowhere anytime soon, but it ain't so. The Lord Yahweh, who the world calls God, has a perpetual hatred for what you know as America, man. All right, why? Because who's ruling America, man? Is our people ruling America? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man? All right, do we have a say-so whenever they have those NATO meetings? Okay, do we have a say-so in how the bank distributes money, how it takes money? No, our people don't have a say-so in anything. So that leaves the rest of the heathen nations who could be in charge of America. But we know that the ones who are in charge of America are you Edomites, man, you so-called white people.
The ones on top.
That's right.
And when your economy crashes, when you lose everything that you've had stored up, hoarding for yourselves, thinking that your kingdom is going to continue on, how the Lord, you will understand how the Lord distributes sorrows in his anger.
That's right, man. You're gonna learn the hard way that all the things you set up for yourself was set up for us, man. All right, Lord willing, we're part of that number. All right, because these hoarders, man, they take all of this soap, they take all this food, and they store it in their houses. But who are they doing it for? They're doing it for God's elect. All right, that's who they're doing it for. The only ones who are going to be sustainable during that time of Jacob's trouble, martial law, these race wars where all hell is breaking loose in America, the only ones who are going to be able to sustain themselves are going to be the elect, man.
The elect.
The rest of you people are going to be caught up in that judgment, man.
In dire straits.
And if you escape from the judgment of Jacob's trouble, martial law, race wars, all right, and these soldiers breaking into your house, if you're able to escape, the last thing that's going to hit you are going to be these missiles, man. These missiles are going to take you out, man. And then, for those of you who are not in America and don't get hit by the missiles, then you're going to go into slavery.
Slavery.
All right? Especially you kings, man. The ones who rule in this kingdom right now. We're going to go straight to your damn doors. Yeah, put you in chains, man. Can someone get that? Psalms, I think it's 149. All right, this is all predestined. This isn't us speaking. We're speaking not only from the scriptures, but through the Holy Spirit, which is upon us.
Verse 6.
Where is this?
Verse 4.
Start at verse 1. Okay, let's start at verse 1.
Psalms 149 and 1. Praise ye Yahweh, sing unto Yahweh a new song.
That's right, sing unto Yahweh a new song, which is his truth. Go ahead.
And his praise in the congregation of the saints.
Now keep in mind, with this whole chapter is starting off with praising Yahweh. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him.
Let who?
Let Israel rejoice in him that made him.
That's right. Go ahead.
Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king.
The children of Zion, meaning the only ones who are going to take pleasure and rejoice during this time are going to be the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp.
We're going to be rejoicing. We're going to be praising Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for the judgment and the reward that he's going to give us. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation.
He will beautify the meek with salvation, which we covered earlier. That salvation is being saved from your enemies. And who are the meek? The elect. All right, go ahead.
Verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
God, so this is all talking about being joyful and being glorious and praising Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in his holy name. And for what? Go ahead.
Verse 6. Let the high praises of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand.
And a two-edged sword in their hand. Go ahead.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
To execute what? Vengeance upon the heathen
people.
And punishments upon the people. Why? Because those people put our people under subjection. They put us in slavery. They tormented our people. All right? Therefore, what's going to happen? We're going to have a two-edged sword in our hand to do the same thing unto them. Go ahead.
Verse 8, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
To bind their kings with chains and nobles with fetters of iron. The same thing that they did unto our people, man. So this correlates with Revelation 18, where it speaks about them filling their cup to their double, man. They filled our cup. Now it's time to overflow their shit. All right? And the Lord is going to... So the whole time in that chapter, the saints were rejoicing during this, man. So whenever we are able to finally put these devils, all right, and these heathens under subjection with that two-edged sword in our hand, we're going to be rejoicing, praising Yahweh Shem Shai. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 9, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints, praise ye Yahweh.
To execute the judgment that is written, this honor. This is a very honorable thing. If you are chosen for this, if you're not only called but chosen as well, it's a very honorable thing. Because now you're able to rid the world of wickedness. All right, and who right now, the one who is in rulership, we know is to be Edom, and the way he ruled was with a continuous stroke. Did you get Isaiah 14 and 5? All right, he ruled with a continual stroke of anger. He never let up. Even to this day, the age of retirement keeps going up. It used to be like 65, now it's like 70, almost 80. Okay, he's ruling these nations with a rod of anger, and it's no longer even just our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's the rest of these heathen nations as well. All right, and that's why these heathen nations are getting angry with America. The dragon is trying to hate the horn.
In Isaiah chapter 14, verse 5, the Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
That's right, the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, which usually staffs and scepters are in rulership. Go ahead.
He who smote the people in wrath with continual stroke.
He who smote the people with wrath, but in a continual stroke, not letting up, constantly adding on more things to afflict our people. Go ahead.
He that ruled the nations in anger and persecuted and none hindered.
That's right. He who ruled the nations in anger and persecuted and none hindered, meaning no one said a damn thing. All right. But the Lord had raised up his people to chant down this kingdom. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet.
So after this wicked, vile man gets taken down, after this kingdom is taken down, what does it say? The whole earth is at rest. All right, go ahead.
They break forth into singing.
So even the heathen nations, after this wicked, vile man, the red Hebrew Edomite, the so-called white man, is destroyed and put into slavery, all right, the whole earth is going to rejoice. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon say, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
That's right. Since thou art laid down, no feather has come up against us. That's right. Because what does this man do? He cuts down the whole forest to build concrete jungles, man. All right. He cuts down the production of oxygen to build rocks everywhere, man. All right. To make his cave larger. You know. Go ahead.
Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
That's right. So hell knows that you're coming, which hell in the Hebrew, I believe, is Shalom or Sha'ol. It starts with an S, but it means grave. All right. So the grave is moved beneath thee to meet thee at thy coming. All right. Which means that there's going to be a lot of death going on in your nation. Go ahead.
It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their throne all the kings of the nations. And all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
That's right, man. Art thou become weak as we, man? Because these other nations, the only reason they're not able to do anything against you right now is because the Lord hasn't put that spirit upon them. All right? But pretty soon here to come, he's going to give them the same firepower, which they do have it. But how do I put this? They have the firepower, but it's not on their spirit yet, because the Most High likes to do things at set times. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations?
That's right. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? How do you do that, man? With your atomic bombs, with your nuclear firepower. All right, destroying nations, whenever you drop that bomb, these nations were terrified. All right, but now that they have the same firepower as you, now have you become weak as wheat. Go ahead.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the star of God.
Which the stars of God are the Israelites. Go ahead.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north. I will ascend above the height of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the side of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, say, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble? The so-called white man has ruled with an iron fist for so long that he has not had any opposing factions, until the Spirit of the Lord has been raised up on these other nations to put your ass in the grave. And that's basically what's coming for you. Mount Seir shall be desolate, and you will have blood in the streets because of your wrongdoings from the past. As Job says, he is filled with the sins of his youth.
And there ain't no, well, my father did that. My forefathers did that. I shouldn't be punished for it. All right, because the Lord punishes by nation. He doesn't punish by person, man. So you Edomites, you so-called white people, are going to be judged for your forefathers' actions, man.
As a nation.
Yep, that's right, man. So just because you weren't there doesn't mean you're not taking part of that judgment, man. All right, you're going to be cut off just as the Lord had promised you, man.
Precept,
Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men in the hills and in thy valleys, and in all the rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. You got a bunch of death coming your way, son.
That's right, man. The Lord's not playing any games, man. Just as he punished our people for our wickedness, and he loved us, what do you think he's going to do unto you for ruling the world in wickedness and thinking that you're going to get away with it? The blaspheming his holy name, blaspheming his holy people. What do you think he's going to do unto you? He's going to fill your cup up to your double. You're not even going to be able to endure the pain that is going to come to you. But you're going to be forced to endure it, man. You're going to do everything in your power to die. But luckily, the Lord is going to bless us with the spirit of life, with the spirit and the power over life and death, to where we're not going to allow you to just exit out like that, man.
Resurrect your stank ass.
God, man, we're gonna keep your pale ass alive for as long as we need to, man. To torture you, to put you in chains, to make sure that you can never escape again. All right, because we've seen what happens whenever you're loosed out of your chains, man. Therefore, we're never going to allow you to do that again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, not a chance. You ain't happening. You ain't fooling us 2 times. That ain't going. All right, the Lord ain't going to allow it to happen. Because the second time, the Lord is going to allow us to keep you under our heel. All right? Because we did, at a point, have you under subjection. All right? We did have a point whenever we were under the rulership of King David and King Solomon. We had you under subjection, but you broke loose. You broke that yoke off of your neck. All right? And you excelled, and you built Greece, you built Rome. All right? You built all these kingdoms that you're so proud of that the Lord hates. And even America. You're so proud of America for keeping you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans at the bottom of the barrel, for making sure that they can never rise up again. You're so proud of America, the Lord's going to show you what pride does to a man. All right?
Pride comes before destruction.
That's right. Pride goeth out before destruction, man. All right? So this place is going to be destroyed because it is a very prideful place. And you can see it not only in the nation, but in the people. The people here are very prideful, especially the women, man.
Especially.
All right? And then the feminine men. Which
Beta male sin.
Come. So the Lord's going to show you people what comes after pride, man. All right? It's going to be a beautiful thing to see you people and this nation to finally drop in righteousness. This is all happening. We're speaking of death and destruction and utterly and most foremost obliteration of a nation, and it's in righteousness. Right. The Lord it's called an honor to put these their kings in the chains. That's an honor that His saints have. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and end it off on Revelation 13. Verse 10.
Revelation 13, verse 10.
God.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
That's right.
Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Did not the so-called white man lead into captivity? Go ahead.
And he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Does not the so-called white man gloat and boast about his power and his nuclear weapons and his guns, all right, and being able to put these heathens under subjection because of his power? Does he not boast in that? I believe he does. Now, therefore, the Most High said, for those who lead into captivity are going to go into captivity. And those that kill it with the sword must be killed with the sword. Right? And Esau, the so-called white man, the red Hebrew Edomite, that's why it says in Revelation 13 and 9, if any man have an ear, let him hear. If you can understand, and you can understand. But the so-called white man was blessed with the sword. That's why he's so good at war. That's why no other nation can take him out carnally. But the Lord is going to come against him as an overwhelming power of spirit, man. The Lord ain't going to take Esau out carnally, man. He's going to take him out through the spirit. All right, and that's exactly what's happening. This man's kingdom is being chanted out spiritually. All right, and then whenever the Lord gives us that spiritual power, we're going to go into his bunkers that he has. All right, break down them goddamn weak ass doors and take him and put his kings in chains. All right, and rule him with the rod of iron. And it's going to be a beautiful and a very honorable thing to have that Lord willing we are able to partake of. All right.
Here's the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's right. For here is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is what the saints are waiting on. This is the patience that we are enduring these afflictions. All right, for Yahweh's sake, but also that way we may obtain that power and rule over our enemies, man. If you say you don't want to rule over your enemy, you're a dumbass. All right, you're just a passive, no goody. All right. So, you got some?
Yeah, they're comfortable here.
Y'all comfortable here, you're gonna stay here. You're gonna burn here. All right. But we know we're not comfortable here. All right. So we're looking for something higher. If you're okay with Esau's paycheck all the time, barely making it, minimum wage, living paycheck to paycheck all the time, not being able to see the world in its full glory, then that's on you. All right.
You're a damn fool if that's where you think.
But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. All right. So with that being said, pray this camp was edifying, and we want to give all praises, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh
B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakakadash.
I double honors to the elders and apostles of our game, most known to the true elders and apostles of all Israel. Until the next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom.